Sorry, I didn't have my mic turned on. Hello, my freaky darlings. Welcome back to Scarlet Hollow Streaming. So once again, we start on the content warning. And oh boy, this game needs it. This is a horror game, not intended for all audiences. They do have the full content list at blacktabbygames.com. We're not going to be able to save everyone. We might not be able to save ourselves. The fact that 3 people made it out alive last chapter is a miracle. I don't know how that happened. We lost Gretchen, but if she was 17, her heart was gonna go probably. You'll have to let me know if I need to adjust my mic. It sounded fine in test recordings. Trying to do art streams with this mic is gonna be interesting. So, load. Chapter end. Yes, I would. Alright. Return. Continue. Recap of episode 1. Oh, that's handy. Thank you. Thank you, Black Tabby Games. That's amazing. Thank you so much. The long-lost cousin. The bad news. The 26 hours of bus rides with countless late-night stops and seedy depots that would have felt unsafe even in the middle of the day. You would normally find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought the tickets. The funeral, Pearl and Scarlet, your cousin's mother, and your aunt seemed like something you couldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. I forgot. It literally tells me that my mom died, and I completely forgot. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. So, as Stella mentioned, she's famous. Oh, Avery, I'm not famous. Look, if you're not gonna go around tuning your own horn, you know I'm gonna do it for you. These two would be a cute couple, I think. But then again, I don't know their orientations. So that might be a weird thing for me to say. I don't know yet. I literally just met these people. Stella sighs. They could just be close friends. I'm a YouTuber. She hunts cryptids. A single deer remains behind, staring down the beam of Stella's flashlight while Gretchen whines and pulls at her harness. It's the cancer deer. You'll eat those words when I come carrying a mountain lion corpse out of these woods at dawn. Come on, you, whatever your name is, grab that flashlight and help me line up a good shot. As the creatures in the tree line grow louder and more numerous, Gretchen violently strains against her harness. You dive to the flashlight and swing your body towards the woods. I said aim the damn thing, quick! Perfect. Wait, where's Gretchen? Where's my dog? Welcome home. My grandmother called them ditchlings, and they are a terrible omen, a sign of great suffering and destruction to come. From the comfort of Stella's guest room, the events of the past evening seem like something that happened to someone else, though you can still clearly picture the terror you felt in those moments. For now, you're safe, and you are warm. Tuesday morning awaits. Time to wake up. That's handy. More visual novels should have a recap. You open your eyes. The sun has risen, the birds are singing. You're still alive, and for now, you're safe. For now. Your gaze wanders the unfamiliar room to the windows and the woods beyond, and you wonder if the monsters are lurking just beyond the trees, ready to pounce as soon as you leave the comfort of your new friend's family home. You can't help but remember the sight of pale faces jeering at you as they carried Gretchen's poor little body into the underbrush. A knock at the front door. Your morbid thoughts are interrupted by a distinctly unhappy voice filtering through the house and past the closed door of your bedroom. Where the hell is Hollow? Oh, hey, Tabby, there's a fresh pot of coffee on the table if you want to come in. No, I'm just here to check on my cousin. Let's make this quick. I have a lot on my plate today. You're barely decent. It might be mildly scandalous if people saw you like this. We're gonna finish getting dressed. You calmly collect yourself while Tabitha fumes outside your door. Are you sure you don't want to visit for a bit? You don't have to run around being the big boss this week of all weeks. You should just let yourself... I'm fine. Thanks. Hollow, I know you're here. Where the hell are you hiding? Walk out. Now sufficiently prepared to greet the other civilized human. That's a strong word. You open the door and join them in the living area. Morning. How'd you sleep? Who could sleep? What exactly did the two of you get up to last night? We went up to the woods to film a video. Never mind, I don't actually want to know. What I do want to know is why on earth you decided to blow me off to spend the night with a stranger. Look, last night was a lot, Tabby. There's something horrible out there in the woods, and I don't think anyone in this room wanted Hollow walking up that mountain alone last night. Stella, would you mind giving me a moment alone with my cousin? And while you're at it, please stop calling me Tabby. We're not in high school anymore. Yeah, alright. Isn't that Stella's house? Why are you bossing her around? This isn't really a hill worth dying on. I'll give you two some space. Thanks. You've been in town for less than a day, and my stress is already through the roof. I mean, I get it. Stella got you worked up, and you were too scared to walk home. Sure, whatever. That checks out. But I don't care if those woods are chock full of ghouls and ghosties. You had me worried sick. From now on, you're back at the estate by bedtime. No more impromptu sleepovers. Sorry, it won't happen again. Good. I'm glad we could have this talk. That's the most pained smile ever. Hopefully you'll treat my time with the respect it deserves from here on out. You are not paying me. Speaking of, I've got places to be. I better see you back at the estate tonight. You hear Stella's voice call out from another room. Wait, Tabby, let me know if you're free sometime, okay? Tabitha sighs. You're relentless. But we'll see. But don't get your hopes up. Hey, you good? Sorry about Tabby. She totally blindsided me. I don't regret anything, but you're right. That sucked. And it's not like I didn't let her know where I was. Last night was a lot. I don't think anyone can blame me for crashing here. Tabby just doesn't get what we went through. Who would, honestly? Who knows what could have happened if you'd gone back last night? Anyways, sorry for that rude awakening. I'd been up for a little while, but was hoping to let you get a little extra sleep. But you're up now, and we've got a full day ahead of us if we're gonna get to the bottom of this. How are you so chipper? You should not be okay right now. Am I coming off as chipper? Yikes. I guess I'm just used to compartmentalizing things. And we have something important to focus on right now. I'll have time to process what happened last night when we get to the bottom of what happened in the woods. You shouldn't that. They're meant to be felt. Hello, please don't push me on this. Let me handle it the way I handle it. I wonder if the music volume's too loud. I'm gonna turn it down just a touch. Alright, I've been itching to get to the library. Awesome, because that's exactly where we're heading. It sounds like Kanika's already there too. Oh, let me set up a group chat. What's your number? You and Stella exchange numbers. A text message from Stella to you and Kanika. It reads, Group chat! Hopefully we can find out more about ditchlings from some of the older local books there. I've also got a couple of threads cooking on my cryptid forums, but who knows if that'll pan out. Anyways, daylight's burning. Let's roll out as soon as you finish getting dressed. We're gonna head into town. Lord knows I don't have an appetite after all that. Oh, hi, Sylvia. Sylvia and Avery. What the hell was your last name? Forsyth? I think it was Forsyth. The walk into town was short. Stella's house is barely a stone's throw from what remains of Scarlet Hollow's once bustling main street. You shudder as you stare down the thoroughfare, both from the chill in the morning air and the all-too-present memories of everything you witnessed last night. You see that building labeled Town Hall? That's actually the library. It's also the town hall, but that's just a small upstairs office nowadays. I guess this town's not what it used to be. Oh, hey! Morning, Stella, and same to you, Holo. Speak of the devil, we were just talking about you. Coming from Stella's, huh? Y'all have a slumber party. You don't have to flirt with her for me. Sorry, y'all, but I'm in a bit of a rush this morning. I really can't stop to chat. It'll take me a bit to set up, so if you want to catch up with folks or grab something at the diner, you can meet me at the library when you're done. Now, getting an early start seems important. Cool, that works for me. See you later, Avery. Bye, Miss Forsyth. It is Forsyth. I remembered something. You and Stella enter the former town hall. What once must have been a stately foyer has since been converted into rows of shelves. Meeting rooms and offices long ago gave way to assorted reference collections and reading areas. This is a good place. I like libraries. Kanika quietly waves at you and Stella from her table. Oh, I didn't recognize you with your hair down. Alright, let's get settled. God, you're pretty. Hey, you look tired. A QB! Kanika's a weeb! I love her! I've never done a Scooby-Doo before. It was hard to fall asleep last night, all things considered. I can't say I got a wink myself. Yeah, same. Anyways, I guess we should get started. I'll be doing most of my research online, but I went ahead and put together some books that might be helpful. On top of local texts covering the history of Scarlet Hollow, there's also volumes on cryptids and Appalachian folklore. Aw, thanks, Kanika. Smart. Whatever those creatures are, there's probably some truth to them buried in local legends. Exactly. That's probably the only set of facts we have available, and piecing them together is way better than going out there with nothing. Plus, I know if I didn't grab them, Stella would already be out there getting them herself. Guilty as charged. Thanks, Kanika. Hey there, strangers. And literal stranger. Hi. I'm Holo, Tabitha's cousin. I'm in town for the funeral. Oh, I should have known you were a Scarlet. You look so much like Vivian. Not that I knew her very well. I was still a kid when she left. But that Scarlet resemblance, it's, strong. I'm Oscar Gutierrez, Chief Librarian and only librarian. Oscar's amazing. He practically built this library from scratch. Yeah, I'm a little jealous of what the kids around here get to grow up with. They don't know how good they have it. Back when I was in elementary school, all the library had was a couple of shelves of boring books donated by old people. Y'all are too kind. But speaking of kids, have either of you seen Rosalina around town? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she hasn't been answering my texts, and I wanted to make sure she isn't getting into trouble out there. You know the crowd she hangs around with. They're good kids at heart. I'm sure they're just up at the old Maxwell place doing teen stuff. I went up there plenty of times in my day, but I'll be sure to keep my eyes peeled. What's the old Maxwell place? It's this great old abandoned spot. We used to hang out there when we were teens. I can't believe I used to be so reckless. The floors there were like Swiss cheese. I really should have a talk with Rosalina when she gets home. Sylvia did say that they mostly prey on animals and not people. So we're gonna say nothing. You might not want to let her run off like that anymore, though. It's not as safe as it usually is around here. Is that so? Kanika's right. There's some weird stuff going on out in the woods. That's actually why we came in today. Have you heard of creatures called ditchlings? They're a type of cryptid that shows up around places on the brink of disaster. They kind of look like the Pillsbury Doughboy was a creepypasta. Kanika's mom told us about them last night after seeing some footage we got in the woods. Ditchlings? Doesn't ring a bell. Dang, worth a shot. Okay, if you were trying to predict a horrible disaster that might befall our town, where would you start looking? Well, they say history repeats itself, so I'd probably try to figure out what sort of disasters this region typically falls prey to. Should I be worried about something? I don't know yet. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go nab some more books. I'm pretty sure Stella's barking up the wrong tree, Oscar. I don't think you have to worry about any horrible calamity befalling the town. But she's right about the weird stuff. There's definitely something unusual going on out in those woods. If I were you, I would keep my loved ones close in the coming days. I'm going to try calling Rosalina again. Oh my god, I love his phone case! I love that. That's like an old library card back when they had the stamping system before everything went digital. I'm sure she's fine, really. Don't mind Holo, she's been hanging out with Stella too much. Yeah, alright. Rosalina's a smart kid. She knows better than to go around getting into trouble, and we'll make sure to keep our eyes peeled. Thanks, Kanika. And Holo, if you see a 13-year-old girl with a black braid and glasses, would you let her know her dad is worried about her? Oscar anxiously wanders off, phone in hand. Got him! Just grabbed a whole mess of local history books. Stella sets a massive pile of books on the table and pulls up a chair. Alright! This is going to be so much faster with the two of you here to help out. Got our snacks, got our source documents. Let's get this research party started. I want that bat sticker. Reading awaits. So... we're gonna start with Appalachian folk monsters first. A few entries catch your eye. Ginseng babies. Hopkinsville goblins. Wampus cat. Tommy knockers. Taily Poe. Okay, let's see. Small silvery creatures. Hopkinsville goblins is a case of supposed close encounter with extraterrestrials in the 1950s near Hopkinsville, Kentucky. During the incident, 5 adults and 7 children arrived at the local police station claiming a group of small chrome creatures besieged their farmhouse for hours. So, I don't remember this movie, but kind of like Signs? When police arrived on scene, they found bullet holes and cement shells, but little less than ways of evidence. Skeptics suggest the family had simply misidentified a group of great horned owls. Even so, the incident remains most thoroughly corroborated in documents of extraterrestrial contact. Tommy knockers. Tommy knockers originated in Cornish mythology, spreading to the United States when Cornish immigrants began working in the Appalachian mines. They're named for the knocking that can be heard from seemingly within the walls before a cave-in. According to some, the knocking serves as a benevolent warning. Others believe that the creatures take stolen hammers to the supports of mines and collapse them on whoever's unfortunate enough to still be inside. They're traditionally thought to be impish, leprechaun-like beings, but some claim they are the spirits of dead miners forever cursed to haunt their final resting place. Spooky. Let's see. Obviously, we're not going to do Mothman, a wyvern-like creature, New Jersey Devil. We don't need that. We don't need that. Bell Witch sounds fascinating, but it doesn't sound relevant here. Roots said to scream like infants. Yeah, I don't think there's anything for me here. Close the book and put it back. Historical buildings, I think. Just the thought of reading a book like this would probably put most people to sleep. Unless they're an architect nerd. But you've got a mystery to solve, and to solve it, you need to know everything there is to know about this town. Ooh. Let's start with the coal mines. The original mining facility is no longer standing, having been destroyed in the collapse of 1918. Though the new facility, outfitted with the cutting-edge technologies of the industry, is in itself a fine example of practical construction, the first iteration of the mining camp was a true product of its time, and what few photographs exist are an interesting peek back at a different area. Yeah, before OSHA. One can still visit the site of the original Scarlet coal mine, though all that remains are a few abandoned tunnels closed off to the public. Scarlet Estate? And arguably the most striking piece of architecture in Scarlet Hollow. Wow. Look how pretty it used to be. And the most elaborate and elegant estate in the region prior to the construction of the Biltmore in 1895. Andrew Jackson's Scarlet chose the location to be atop a hill in Scarlet Hollow's geographic center so that it might be seen from the town below. Rich people. It remains a constant reminder of the family who carved Scarlet Hollow from the wilderness and provided wealth and prosperity to its residents. Hiram Scarlet Memorial. First used as a field hospital during the Civil War, it was named for Silas Scarlett's eldest son, who perished in the bloody conflict. It still stands at the end of what is now the residential district of Scarlet Hollow and has served the health of the community for over 100 years. In the late 1800s, as the town prospered from a coal boom, words I cannot read. I'm sorry you had to find out this way, but I am illiterate. Additions were built onto the house, and it was opened as a change of air clinic, bringing in prestigious clientele from around the world. They believed the fresh mountain air would do them well, and Scarlet Hollow became a tourist destination for patients of all afflictions. The clinic still operates to this day as a doctor's office and stands as a building of cultural significance. Tremaine Homestead. Situated on the edge of Scarlet Hollow's farmland, the Tremaine Homestead was one of the earliest settlements in Scarlet Hollow, predating even the town's famous coal mines. For many decades, the Tremaine family maintained the largest farm in Scarlet Hollow, but a break in the family led them to split the land in two, and the homestead along with it. Despite the many changes made to the two halves of the Tremaine homestead in the subsequent decades, the original log structures are still visible and maintained to this day. They are undoubtedly the oldest buildings left standing in Scarlet Hollow. We're going to explore Town Hall. Silas Scarlet personally funded the Town Hall's construction as the first municipal building in the then small community of Scarlet Hollow. It has stood at the end of Main Street since before the Civil War. Its white-columned edifice withstanding the ravages of the 1860s and continuing to stand to this day, a stunning piece of antebellum architecture. After the town of Scarlet Hollow switched to a dog mayor. I don't know what that means. What is a dog mayor? Is it like the Dog King in Dragon Ball Z? What is this? System of governance in the 1920s. The building has been put to different use, though the upstairs still house the town archives and a special ceremonial office for events with the mayor. So, the mayor of Scarlet Hollow is a dog. What? What? It really is a dog? There's no way that's right. What? One of the first buildings constructed by the Scarlet family, the First Baptist Church, still stands in its original foundation, though the building was reconstructed to accommodate the influx of citizens during the Scarlet Hollow coal boom of the late 1800s. Attendance has dwindled since the infamous mine collapse of 1918, and while the building may have fallen into disrepair, its simple vaulted ceilings still evoke awe to any who enter. Yeah, there's nothing else for me there. So, coal mines. Need a second for a sip. Forced into retirement at age 50 due to a war injury from his time in the Indian Wars, exacerbated by his short stint serving as captain in the Confederacy, Silas Scarlet also lost his eldest two sons to that bloodiest of wars, leaving his third eldest son, Andrew Jackson Scarlet, to take charge of the mine. Under his leadership, the mine prospered, undoubtedly in part due to the growth of the railroad industry. Managed to evade the coal union for decades, making them one of the most profitable mines in the country, Andrew Scarlet built the surrounding town into what it is today, with expensive stone buildings, a bustling main street, and overseeing it all, the elegant Scarlet estate that was until 1895 the largest and finest feat of architecture in the region. Culminating in the tragic collapse of 1918, it was found that Charles Shaw, the co-manager of the mine, had loosened security measures to increase production during World War I, resulting in a fatal collapse and the deaths of over 160 men and boys, some as young as 10. This is why we need unions in OSHA. Regulations are written in blood. The casualties included Andrew Jackson Scarlet's son Theodore, his brother Enoch V Scarlet, not Enoch V Scarlet, but Enoch V Scarlet, who had taken over from their aging father during the bustle of the war, and managed to pull the mine from the brink of ruin, thereby saving the town. So this is how your family made its fortune. By being bastards. How do you think rich people get rich? By being bastards. Alright, Silas Scarlet. Silas Everett Scarlet was born to Colonel Everett J. Scarlet in 1818, one of 12 siblings. He grew up in eastern North Carolina during a tumultuous time in the state's history, and not much is known about his life before he joined the Army in 1836. He quickly rose through the ranks, in part due to his father's connection, but also due to a particular ruthlessness for which he received the nickname Bloody Silas Scarlet. Yeah, that makes sense. I could see that. The federal government granted the now Captain Silas a tract of bounty land in exchange for his service in the Indian War, and he settled into the hills of North Carolina in 1841. That land would become Scarlet Hollow. But it started as a simple log cabin built by Silas's own two hands, occupied by his family of 10, Silas, his wife Mary Joseph Scarlet, and their 8 children. Logging business brought many workers and fellow landowners to the hills, but it wasn't until Silas discovered rich seams of coal running underneath the region that Scarlet Hollow was really put on the map. He saved what he could and bought the surrounding hillside at great discount, cleverly hiding what he knew about the land's true value. Thus, he had all the resources to found Scarlet Hollow's now famous coal mine. You're finished with this one. I think I'm done. Let's check in. Alright, if we're going with what Kanika's mom told us last night, I think we can rule out any natural disasters as what brought the ditchlings here. But not nuclear incidents. Looks like our state has a history with those. What about y'all? Find anything? Kitty! Before you can respond, a handsome black cat leaps onto the table. Stella quickly slams her book shut. Aw, hey Pixel. You might want to close your book. He loves to rip up any paper he can find. Don't worry, little guy. I didn't forget your treats. Pixel immediately goes to town on Stella's treats. Sorry if Pixel's bothering y'all. Hopefully he hasn't gobbled up any of our books. Not yet. Precious baby. He can't stand the thought that people might pay attention to anything that isn't him. I love him already. Why do you let a paper shredder freely wander a library? Have you seen this little guy's face? How could I say no to that? Leave Pixel be. The cat curls up on the table, fast asleep. Aww. Alright, I better get back to shelving. Let me know if y'all need anything. We're gonna start with historical buildings. Alright, let's talk about historical buildings of Scarlet Hollow. Oh my god, you read that! That book was assigned as a punishment if we misbehaved in school. It's an excellent sleep aid. NyQuil and melatonin have nothing on historical buildings of Scarlet Hollow. Rumor has it that nobody has read it from cover to cover. You guys are missing out. That's one of my favorite books here. Such rich history. Guess we're just kindred spirits, Hollow. Har har, yeah, I read the boring book. Stella, when were you gonna tell me the mayor's a dog? The Tremaine homestead seems like the only thing that doesn't have the Scarlet name stamped on it. Sorry. Yeah, I think they've been around these parts even longer than your family, though they're the Tremaines and the Callaways now. They literally split their farmhouse in half over that schism. Duke's actually on the Callaway side of the family. He and Beau are the last two left. What happened to the estate? At some point, the hill it was built on started falling apart. I think it's pretty stable at this point, though. Is it, Stella? You've seen the place. And half of it is still mostly okay. About the coal mines. Kanika visibly shudders. I get cold sweats just thinking about being in a place like that. I feel for the guys who work up there. I could never. Speak for yourself. I love a good crevasse. Union-busting mine collapse from poor working conditions. Color me shocked. Yeah, it's pretty awful. That's what the sculpture out front is for, commemorating all the men and children who died that day. Every kid in Scarlet Hollow learns about the collapse of 1918. Our teachers love to emphasize how many children they had working down there, probably to try and show us how good we have it or whatever. Low bar, if you ask me. You know, that could be what the Dishlings are warning us about. Another collapse. Writing it down on the list of potential disasters. Yeesh, Stella, that's morbid. Besides, it was all Charles Shaw's fault. The labor market is way more strict now. There's no way you could get away with the kind of safety cutbacks he pulled. Y'all don't actually think the mine is about to collapse, right? No, I don't think so. Phew, had me worried there for a second. I hate to give Tabitha any credit, but the mine is far safer now than it was back then. Still, what a horrible thought. You never know. History tends to be written by winners. Maybe there's more to Charles Shaw's story. Normally, I'd be inclined to agree with you there, but we're talking about an old-timey coal boss. I'd be shocked if he wasn't cutting corners. Hollow does make a fair point. Shaw was certainly a problematic figure, but there might be other details that were lost to time. Sure, but the guy was run out of town on a rail. And that's not a figure of speech. They actually tied you to a rail, then ran you out of town. There's a big mural of it over on the far wall. He got off easy, if you ask me. Yeah, it sounds like he did. What if there's something toxic in the mines poisoning the town? Wayne seems sick. That creep who keeps coming around my mom's tea room? He snuck up on us last night and called Hollow out by name. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with him. Maybe there's some sort of parasite down in the mines. Maybe infected Wayne, and maybe Wayne infected the local wildlife. Yeah, that could work. I don't know what would lead me to this conclusion. So, any luck with Rosalina? Haha, not yet. I knew a teen would be a handful, but I didn't think it'd happen overnight. It happens immediately. I'll probably head out once y'all are done and check on her usual haunts. Appalachian folk monsters. Hopkinsville goblins are silvery, small, traveled in a pack. There's a lot of similarities to ditchlings. Those are 100% confirmed aliens, though. Unless... the Hopkinsville goblins were just a couple of hours. Some drunk farmer saw at 3 a.m. They're not aliens, and before you say it, no, ditchlings aren't aliens either. Oh, that was Kanika, not Stella. Doesn't matter if either of them are aliens. What matters is the similarities. Alright, I can respect that, but if the Hopkinsville goblins were ditchlings, there's not a whole lot to go on there. And that's a big if. It'd probably rule out the whole Portent of Doom thing, though. I'm already ruling that out. What about Tommy knockers? What with the whole warning thing? Good thought, but Tommy knockers live in the mines. That's like their whole thing. I'm gonna write it down, though. Tommy knockers are literally just the sounds that happen when a bunch of rocks and wood are about to collapse. Are they, or are they the sound of mysterious creatures pounding on the rocks and support beams with hammers to cause a collapse? There's simply no way to know. Moving on. The mines are the obvious common thread here. Good idea. There's an awful lot of mines-related stuff in my notes. We can poke around and find out if anyone's seen anything weird. Just to clarify, you two are suggesting we go... I didn't mean to stutter there. We go to question some of the miners, right? We are not poking around unprepared in the actual mines, right? Right? Yeah, totally. 100%. I would never. We don't even have a good reason to go down there. Good. Let's keep it that way. You know how I feel about the mines. I promise, Sneaks. We're just going to ask questions of some of the miners. And if that questioning gives us a good reason to poke around, say a cool abandoned coal mine, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. You can cross that bridge when we come to it. I am not going underground. I'm just messing with you. We'll stick to the surface. Yeah, and hopefully we'll find out what's wrong with Wayne while we're at it. Yeah, I'm sure Tabitha's going to love that we're snooping around. Same goes for all of us, honestly. I can't think of a single person in town Tabitha would be happy to see. We'll just have to make sure we don't get caught. We'll be super sneaky. I can even keep lookout. Look at us going on a caper together. I missed this. I missed it too. I mean, sure, it's not under the best circumstances, but I've been so wrapped up in running the store, I didn't realize how much I missed being able to hang out with you. Though there is something missing. Reese! I can't do two voices at once. I really miss that dude. I can't believe how long it's been since we've seen each other. Have you seen him lately? Nope. I've tried to plan stuff, but he's been too sick. I didn't realize it was getting so bad. Poor guy. You know, we could just pop over and surprise him. He seemed excited to meet Hollow. Maybe we'll finally get him to leave his little cave. Hell yeah, let's do it. Alright, let's roll out. See ya, Oscar. We'll let you know if we can run into Rosalina. Thanks, guys. I'll keep you posted. Reese's home stands at the edge of the forest wall, an isolated buffer cushioning the rest of the town from the unending wilderness. Unlike several of the other entries in historical buildings of Scarlet Hollow, this one still looks mostly like it did in the book. Words, I swear to God. Reese, it's Stella. I brought some buddies too. You dress like a goth witch, and I love you so much. Shh, not so loud. He's still sleeping. Can I help you with something? The woman in the doorway stares directly into your eyes. You can practically feel her simmering irritation washing over you. Hi, Dr. Kelly. We were wondering if it would be okay if Reese could come hang out. Nothing strenuous, we promise. I'm not going to wake him up. If he's sleeping, he probably needs it. Whatever you two have planned is probably beyond what he can manage right now anyways. Oh no, poor Reese. It's just been so long since either of us have gotten the chance to hang out with him. I'm sure he and Hollow would get along super well too. Yeah, nothing strenuous here at all. We're just going to stand around and look at trees. Dr. Kelly looks you up and down. Trees, huh? Reese's mom turns back into the house sighing. Sorry, I know that was a little rude. You just want to hang out with Reese, and he misses both of you too. She sighs again as if deciding whether to finish her thought. He's usually feeling his best around mid-afternoon. Why don't you come over tomorrow? We can have some supper, and y'all can hang out for a bit. I don't promise he'll be perky, but I'm sure it'll brighten his spirits to see you two again. And I suppose you can come too, Hollow. That'd be great. I can bring a side dish. Maybe deviled eggs? Does he still eat those? No. Eggs are a little much for him. They don't settle well. You can leave the cooking to me. I know what he can handle. Okay, I'll bring soda then. That's not... Okay, yes, fine, you can bring soda. Nothing with caffeine. Ginger ale, preferably. Oh, and leave the dog at home. Okay. No dogs. Thanks so much, Dr. Kelly. We'll stop bothering you now. See you later. Dr. Kelly nods in acknowledgement and quickly shuts the door. The sound of several locks clicking into place can be heard from within. What is happening here? Hello? God, that woman makes me so nervous. Are you okay, Stella? I'm fine. I remember she used to be so nice and carefree when we were kids. She always had the best stickers when we had to get our shots. Maybe she's just stressed out about Reese. Or maybe she's just nice to kids. Either way, I guess it's just the three of us. You gonna drive? Yeah, sorry. I don't like the thought of going up there without the van. Cool. I'll take my shortcut then. It shouldn't take long for me to get there. You're welcome to tag along, Hollow. Don't worry, I won't be offended if you'd rather ride with Kanika. I'm sure you're probably sick of the woods. Either way works for me. Stella, what is actually up with you in cars? The mines have got to be a ways off, right? Don't worry about it, Hollow. There's a lot of junk in the back of my van. It gets a little tight with more than 2 people. Alright, that's, Shama. I'll ride with Kanika. See you at the mines. Please, for the love of God, be okay. Kanika is a careful driver, but her old van still bumps around on the mountain roads. Thanks for indulging us on that little diversion. Reese's mom is scary. I don't think either Stella or I have seen the guy outside of his house for years. I've seen him in person maybe 5 or 6 times in as many years. And that was always in his house, with his mom right there the whole time. No one even knows what he's sick with. That sort of isolation can't be good for his health, no matter what his mom says. So what's actually going on with Reese? Good question. I wish I knew. His mom's been saying he's sick for years, and it's not like she's wrong about it. He's been a wreck the few times I've seen him. Factitious disorder? I don't have enough to go on to make that decision. That's rough. Yep. Can you tell me what's up with Stella and cars? It took some convincing to get her to ride back with Duke last night, even after everything that happened in the woods. She brushed me off when I asked her about it last night, too. I was wondering if there's something more than just not liking them. Wait, she actually got in a car last night? She must have been really freaked out. That's how her parents died. Car crash. She was in the car too, just some cuts and bruises, but she doesn't like cars and tries her best to stay away from them. I don't think she's ever actually going to leave this town. Oh. And now Gretchen's gone too. Holy shit, poor Stella. Yeah, now she's lost Gretchen too. That's not fair. She's such a sweetheart, and so are her folks. Breaks my heart. Do you have any theories besides what we talked about at the library? I don't know. I don't think there's enough information yet to support any strong conclusions. I've been wondering if what you two saw was maybe some sort of mutated animal, like a strain of hairless monkeys or raccoons or something. Do you know about Morgan Island? It's off the coast of South Carolina, and there's a whole population of rhesus monkeys infected with herpes. Like 4,000 of them. Maybe the ditchlings are some kind of alopecia research monkeys. Which sounds ridiculous now that I've said it out loud. Forget I said anything. Those things were not monkeys. They were way too messed up to be anything like monkeys. That doesn't rule out lab monkeys, right? It could be whatever made them hairless and caused weird swellings or altered their proportions. But like I said, we don't have anywhere near enough information. We're remaining silent. You and Kanika sit in comfortable silence for the last few minutes of the ride. You and Kanika arrive at the mines before Stella, and... well, yeah. Stella's probably gonna be another couple minutes.
Hey y'all, how was the ride?
Did you run here?
Yep, felt like getting a run in. I didn't want to keep y'all waiting.
I don't believe you. You didn't run into any of those creatures, did you?
Nope.
That makes sense. They're probably nocturnal. I don't know if I should feel relieved or disappointed. But we're all here. What's the plan?
I guess we just go talk to people.
I guess so.
I should probably be on lookout duty. I'm a bit of a persona non grata in the mines.
Tabitha?
Yeah, I might have tried sneaking in to talk to her a time or two too many.
We're probably less likely to get caught if only one of us is snooping around down there. Alright, I take it I'm the one you're talking about. Tabitha and I aren't exactly friends, and pretty much all of the miners shop at the general store. I don't want to make folks uncomfortable, you know?
It's probably for the best, Hollow.
Alright, I got this. You'll do great.
So,
the plan. You know those cheesy old rom-coms where somebody wears an earpiece on their first date? Whoa, do you have some sort of surveillance set up in the back of your van that I didn't know about? What? No. I have a pair of earbuds with a really good mic. We can just do a group call. Kanika hands you a pair of earbuds. We can feed you questions if you get stuck, and Stella can give you a heads up if Tabitha's heading your way. Dang, I miss doing this sort of thing with you. You're so thorough. Aw, thanks. I do my best. I guess we should part ways and start the call, yeah? Stella and Kanika break off, leaving you alone at the entrance to the mines. Your phone buzzes. Hey! Can you hear us? Try saying something. Loud and clear. Cool, same goes for you. Nothing to do now but enter the worksite. You pass through the unlocked fence and enter the property of Scarlet Hollow Mine. Approach the nearest group of miners. A blonde woman, a broad-shouldered man, and an old-timer. Their uniforms would identify them as Harrison, Davis, and Zax. You got a reason to be bothering us. Do you guys know anything about a guy named Wayne? Yeah, we knew him. He was such a cut-up. Miss that dude. What happened to him? The miners shift for a moment, uncomfortably glancing at one another. Isn't that the guy y'all said was, He's gone. That's all that matters. We're gonna press. What are you, some sort of cop? I'm Tabitha's cousin. I'm here for the funeral. The miner straightened up, suddenly very serious. Sorry, I didn't know. I thought you were maybe one of them environmentalists or... Yeah, sorry for any trouble. You make sure to tell her we said she's a great boss, okay? I'm Zax, this Davis, and this here's Harrison. We don't know nothing about what happened to Wayne, you hear? So... Seen anything weird lately? Nope, nothing at all. You make sure to tell your cousin that, okay? Maybe letting them know you're related to Tabitha wasn't a good idea. What do you think of Tabitha? The miners stare at you, distrust in their eyes. Harrison chews her sandwich slowly. She works hard. She's a good boss. End of story. Actually, that's all, thanks. Bye. You walk away from the miners. Let's see. Another group of miners. Head over to the next group. Before you can reach the miners, you're struck by an intense feeling. Ooh, mystical. You recognize that hollow terror is the same thing you felt last night when you set eyes on that awful man in the miner's jacket. You shouldn't be up here. It's dangerous. What are you? Flesh and blood, much like yourself. You don't have to be afraid of me. Stay home. Wait for the week to end. Don't keep putting yourself in the path of danger. This is all I ask. Before you can say another word, the figure is gone. Hey, hello, are you still there? We've been getting static from you. Our new friend stopped by to say hello. Whoa. I thought I saw you talking to someone down there. Are you okay? I don't think he's human. I hate to say it, but with how the call went to static, what if he's a ghost? Like, actually a ghost? You hate to say it? Stella, I don't think anything would make you happier than Wayne being a ghost. Also, ghosts aren't real. Hey now, just because I want ghosts to be real doesn't mean I want this ghost harassing Hollow. He told me to stay at the estate for the rest of the week. I wonder why. What the hell is that supposed to mean? He must have been threatening you, right? The plot thickens. I need to talk to Tabitha about this. She deserves to know that the creep is lurking around the mines. Totally get that. If you're sure, taping her off might make it hard to talk to anyone else. I should talk to more miners. Hey there, can we help you with something? Do any of you know a man named Wayne? Wayne? You mean Sam Wayne? What are you asking us about him for? Wait, have you seen him? He's been following me. Oh, thank God, everyone thought he was dead. Now, hold on, Creepy doesn't exactly sound like Wayne. How do you know it was him? A name on his jacket, just like yours. Just like yours says Smith. So do all our jackets, but if I switch with Isaac's, that don't make me Isaac's. No, it's gotta be him. There's no way he's dead. You really think he's running around town creeping on strangers and ignoring his friends and co-workers? It seems to me more likely somebody took care of him, so to speak, and is running around in his clothes. The miner stood in silence for a moment, considering what they just heard. That's not possible. That's ridiculous. That's messed up. But who would do something like that? I don't know. Why don't you ask his girlfriend? Yikes, do you think? No way. Just saying, he wasn't exactly the first fella to fall for her charms. Lots of heartbreak in that woman's history. Lots of jilted ex-lovers, if you get my drift. Who are they talking about? I told him not to get involved with her. I told him! Who was Wayne seeing? Well, now, if you don't know, there's no way I'm poking that wasp nest. Forget we said anything. I don't want to be next on the chopping block. Come on, don't dangle something like that. Look, I just don't want to cause any trouble. Enough people are losing their jobs as is. I've got mouths to feed. Losing their jobs, and in Sam Wayne's case, disappearing. We've already said too much. Come on, boys. Should we check in? Just as a heads up, the only group I see out there is pretty close to the main office. It might still be worth talking to them, but I don't know if I can give you all that much of a warning if Tabitha comes out. I need to talk to Tabitha about that stuff. Good luck. I've got my eyes peeled. You make your way to the trailer in the middle of the camp. Hey guys, I'm gonna hang up real quick. I don't want Tabitha to think I'm spying on her. You enter Tabitha's trailer and find her sitting at her desk, head buried in her hands. What are you doing here? So I can leave if you want. No, you're already here. Might as well tell me what's so important. Who's Wayne? He keeps following me. I don't know what to tell you. Look, I'm sure if you ask about him, you'll hear some rumors, especially from my employees. They like to gossip. There was a man named Sam Wayne who worked here for a spell, then he disappeared. Happens all the time in this line of work. People show up for a job from out of town, then they disappear one day after getting paid. I don't know what happened to the man. I don't even know if he was still alive, but of course my workers blame me for running him off. Whatever. It's easy to blame the mean boss for that sort of thing. If you've seen him around, that's news to me, and also none of my business as he's no longer in my employ. Is there anything else I can help you with? Potential mine collapse? The creatures I saw last night are supposed to be some sort of portent of doom. I'm just doing whatever I can to keep people safe. Look, I get it. I really do. Stella has a knack for spinning people into hysterics over shadows. But the only credible threat to the mines right now is me not being able to do my job. You leave it at that. I'm kind of swamped right now. I was kind of getting ready for a big meeting when you walked in, but if you want, you can just wait here for an hour or so and I can swing back when I'm done and pick you up. Just don't go around bothering my men. Don't move a muscle. Don't so much as make eye contact with them. They're supposed to be working. I'll see you then. Tabitha leaves the room. Aw. She's got pictures of Stella. As soon as she's gone, you place Kanika's earbuds back in your ears and redial the group. Hey, is everything good? I think she's hiding something. That woman's hiding a lot of things. But if some of those things are related to what's happening in town... Aw, come on, Neeks. Cut Hollow some slack. Tabby's not that bad. She totally is, though. No use sticking around here. We're gonna regroup with Stella and Kanika. As you leave Tabitha's office, you take a moment to get your bearings, only to be interrupted by sudden movement out of the corner of your eye. A girl carrying a bundle of snacks pops through a hole in the fence and disappears over the crest of a hill. Hey, I think I just saw Rosalina. Wait, really? What is she doing here? I'm going after her. Good idea. We'll try and catch up with you. You rush over to the hill and get your bearings, the sound of active mining fading into the distance. Rosalina is nowhere to be found, but dusty footprints point to a nearby mine. Something about the mine feels wrong, as though a cold anger lies burning inside, sucking the life from the surrounding hills. This is the site of a mass grave. She didn't. I guess the old Maxwell place doesn't cut it as a secret hangout spot these days. But the Shaw mine? That place was shut down like 100 years ago. After a collapse that killed over 100 people. And here I thought Stella was going to be the one to drag me into an abandoned coal mine. Remember the bad feelings I got last night? This place feels straight up cursed. I mean, like Kanika said, a lot of people died down there. There's a lot of spooky history to this place for all we know. Maybe all that death left some kind of, mark down there. Okay, just because a bunch of people died in there doesn't mean it's cursed. Come on. I'm not about to let Rosalina get hurt in there. Even if it means I have to go underground. Whoa. You sure, Neeks? Hollow and I can handle this on our own. Yeah, I'm sure. As much as I hate confined spaces, I hate the thought of other people getting trapped down there even more. Kanika's so good. Stella and Kanika disappear into the mines. Before you follow, you briefly wonder if you should let Tabitha know about this. Call her. What is it? You know I'm in a meeting. A kid just snuck into the Shaw mine. Figured you should know. What? Are you serious? Why do things keep happening to me? Whatever, I'll head there as soon as I can. Just stay where you are and wait for me, alright? God, I don't even know why I'm trying to reason with you. It's not like you'll listen. I called you as a courtesy, but I'm not going to wait for you. I swear to God. Sorry, my mind's made up. You hang up the call. You take a deep breath and follow your new friends into the mine. I'm not going to let a kid get trapped. The inside of the mine is much warmer than you expected. The air thick and wet. Eesh. The ceiling hangs much lower than you are tall, forcing you and your companions to hunch over, your legs bent in a painful squat as you begin to navigate the maze of corridors. Hey, you made it. I told you she would. I told you she would. For a second there, Kanika thought you were making a beeline for Tabby. I called her before coming in. Are you kidding me? I thought you learned your lesson about that woman. Tabitha is not your friend. Well, what matters is the gang's all here. We'll find Rosalina in no time. Press on. The deeper you progress into the mine, the heavier the air becomes. Coal dust hangs in the thick clouds around you, even though this place was abandoned over a century ago. Jesus, it's cramped down here. Does anyone else's chest feel tight? Yeah, abandoned mines are way more claustrophobic than people expect them to be, and this one's real bad. You know, because of the child miners, or I should say the minor miners. Kanika visibly shudders. Okay, I'm not superstitious, but if there's one way to make sure you get haunted, it's cracking jokes about dead child laborers while walking on their graves. What can I say? I do my best to tempt the spirits wherever I go. I actually snuck down here a few times to try and get good footage. Part of my ghost hunting phase. Jesus, Stella, the things you do for your viewers. Did you find anything? I wish. If any place in Scarlet Hollow was actually haunted, it'd be this mine, hands down. But all I got was dust in my lungs and a couple of false alarms. Stella pauses as sound rushes overhead. Oh my god, what was that? The mine's gonna collapse and we're all gonna die here, aren't we? Stella sighs longingly. That's just how wind sounds down here. You sound so disappointed. It just brings back memories of my last foray into these depths. Every time I thought I'd finally found a spooky ghost, there wound up being a very unghostly explanation. Like local wildlife, for instance. Stella turns her flashlight up to an alcove overhead. Aw, batty babies. Those guys got me real good last time I was here alone. Oh my god, there are bats down here. I'm gonna get rabies, aren't I? I'm gonna get rabies and die in a mine collapse. You holding up okay, Neeks? Yeah, sorry, I'm just a little on edge. Kanika is stopped mid-sentence by a thunderous knock echoing from deeper in the mines. Okay, what was that? That was... I have no idea what that was. Did that sound like knocking to you guys? A hateful and broken presence stirs in the deep. It doesn't want you here. We have to move fast before something terrible happens. You don't think it's Tommyknockers, do you? Okay, no. Tommyknockers are not real. They're not allowed to be real. Are you trying to give me a panic attack? I'd love to spend some extra time poking around down here. Maybe it's got something to do with the mystery. The three of you are interrupted by a second, much less distant sound of a can being popped open. Okay, now that wasn't Tommyknockers. It came from this way. Follow me. Stella. You breathe a sigh of relief as the tight passageway gives way to a small cavern. A group of teens turn and stare at you with annoyance. What the hell are all you doing in here? What the hell are you doing in here, you creeps? Are you stalking us? Yeah, creeps. I just said that, Alexis. If I wanted an echo, I'd yell into the Grand Canyon. What are you, 5? Hey, your dad's looking for you, Rosalina. No, there's something terrible in this place that wants to be left alone. Get out of here. Tell your creepy friend to leave us alone, General Store Lady. Rosalina, your dad is worried sick about you. And if you ask me, he was right to worry. Why the hell would you think hanging out in an old mine would be a good idea? Is the Maxwell place not dangerous enough? Because no one usually comes in here, duh. Everyone knows we hang out at the Maxwell place now, so we had to find a new hideout. Which you instantly found, so I guess we have to find an even more secluded place where we can just be ourselves. I can't believe your dad sent people to follow you, Rosalina. That's messed up. I think that qualifies as harassment. You're right, Becca. It is messed up. I don't need him telling me where I can be. You could at least check in so he knows you're not dead. He loves you and worries about you. He's really not asking for much. Don't you kids have school tomorrow anyway? It's fall break. And we're not kids. Yeah, we're teens. Are those canned strawberry margaritas? Where did you even get those? Most of the teens avoid eye contact. The quiet ones in the back tries to melt into the cavern wall. Oh no. I know that isn't you, Miles. It had better not be you. Yeah, whatever. It's me. What are you doing here? Becca's right. It sounds to me like you're stalking and harassing and all that. You're supposed to be mining the store. It's not like anyone even comes in on Tuesday, and Mom's there, so it's fine. Eyes dart uncomfortably around the cavern as Kanika tears into her brother. It's not fine. It is extremely not fine. Why do I always have to be the responsible one? Do you know what I would give to be as carefree as you? I left school so you would have a chance to live your life, and this is what you're doing with it? What would Dad think if he could see you stealing booze from the family store to dick around in an abandoned mine? Dad's dead, Kanika. But if he were here, he'd be disappointed you wound up being such a bossy jerk. Who cares if we're having canned margaritas somewhere nobody's supposed to bother us? I'd love to help y'all sort it out, but can we maybe not do it in the abandoned coal mine? Oh, and what are you, an expert on mine safety? They only abandoned this place because it wasn't enough coal left to bother digging anymore. My dad told me, and he's an actual foreman at the continuous mining facility, so he knows what he's talking about. Wait, I thought your dad was a charge hand. No, Alexis, he got promoted last month, and he says this place is totally safe and we can hang out here anytime we want. Correction, your father was a foreman at the continuous mining facility. We'll see if he even has a job tomorrow morning. What? Oh, shit. Oh, hey, Tabby. Kanika sighs. It's probably for the best she's here. Do none of you understand what a boarded up mine entrance is supposed to mean? It means it's closed, condemned, not fit for human use. Aw, come on, this place is way sturdy. Check it out. The teen with the beanie jumps and slaps the strut on the ceiling. Teenage boys, I swear to God. Oh, was that the knocking we were hearing earlier? Oh my God, Zane. Cut it out. You're embarrassing us. I'm sorry for Zane's behavior. I don't think he realizes how extremely 8th grade it is to jump and hit things. No offense, Rosalina. None taken. The other 8th graders are totally immature. Not like you, Rosalina. You're chill. I'm smart too. Enough. The damage is already done. Now leave. I'm tired of people in this town dragging my cousin headlong into danger. I can't believe I actually agree with Tabitha about anything, but this is the worst place I've ever been in my entire life, and I would like to see the sun again before I die. Come on, you guys. Maybe it's not a big deal. We used to do dangerous stuff all the time, and I still do dangerous stuff now. I mean, I don't like this particular situation, what with the whole ditchling thing, but outside of that, who are we to tell them where they can hang out? I don't know who you think you are in this situation, Stella, but I own this mine. It is entirely within my rights to tell them to leave, much like it is entirely within my rights to tell you to leave. Was your lifetime ban from my mines not clear enough message for you? Hell yeah, Tabitha, tear the sad 20-something to shreds. I'm defending you, and I'm not sad. Where'd you get that idea? Running a clickbaity YouTube channel where you run around the woods chasing nothing is extremely sad. So she's sad. So what? Give it a few years, you'll be sad too. The passage of time is inescapable. Look, we just wanted to give Rosalina a good time. Her home life sucks right now. Yeah, tell him about where you have to sleep, Rosalina. We've been living in the library for the past couple weeks. Dad says we can't stay at our house. They've got a hot plate and a couple cots in the back rooms. It's actually pretty sick setup. No, it isn't, Zane. Rosalina deserves better. I don't care about your home life, and if you're going to do your underage drinking, go do it in the woods. Just get off my property. Tabitha. Look, Rosalina, I'm sure Oscar has a good reason for all that. He's a good guy. He cares about you. He thinks our house is haunted. Oh. Wait, what? And I should care because it's such a bullshit excuse. I bet he couldn't afford it anymore and is lying to save face. Coward. Becca, I don't think you can, say that about other people's families. Isn't that, bullying or something? Shut up, Zane. Back up. He says it's haunted? I can't believe he didn't mention it to me. I could investigate. There's no ghost, Stella. It'd be cool if there was, but Becca's right. I just wish he'd be honest with me and tell me what's really going on. It's like he doesn't think I can handle it. I'm still a little kid. You're all children, and none of you realize how good you have it. Back in the day, each and every one of you would be pulling 12-hour shifts in this exact mine. If it weren't for the child labor laws, the 5 of you might have some actual character. Exactly. Rosalina's not that mature anyway. She still sleeps with stuffed animals. That doesn't mean she's not mature. I still have pork chop, you know. I rest my case. Wait, what did you say about child labor? Okay. Just... At this rate, I'd be surprised if your house wasn't haunted. Even if it wasn't a ghost, it doesn't mean Oscar's lying to you. Why are all the adults in this town such weirdos? There's no ghost. There's no such thing as ghosts. Oscar's just lying. Yo, what if we break in and ghost bust the place anyway to be sure?
Oh my god, Zane, you can't bust a ghost if there is no ghost.
Also, Rosalina lives there. She can't break into her own house.
There's no ghost that you know of. I bet we could figure out how to bust it if it's actually real, and if it isn't real, problem solved. You know, Rosalina, you could always stay at my house until Stella busts your ghost. We have a finished basement with a pull-out couch. Why are we talking about this like it's a thing? It's not a thing. There's no ghost.
I don't care. And I can't believe I've wasted this much time trying to argue with children. I'm washing my hands of this and calling the cops. Feel free to leave before they show up. You hear that, Miles? We're leaving. I suggest the rest of you kids leave this empty mine before someone gets black lung, or crushed by rocks, or meets any one of many terrible fates people tend to meet in abandoned mines. Kanika is interrupted by a pair of thunderous knocks. That wasn't me, I swear. Then what was it? Come on, Stella, didn't you have a list of perfectly natural explanations for scary mine noises?
It's Tommyknockers for sure. I know this isn't why we came down here, but we gotta check it out.
Stella! Can't do two voices at once. I'm not that talented.
I know, but weird stuff's been happening around town the past few days. What if this is our chance to get an actual solid lead? The stakes couldn't be higher.
Do you have no sense of self-preservation? I want you out of here, Stella.
Oh, come on, Tabby, you can come along too.
If you guys are going after something spooky, count me in. Nobody is going deeper into the mine. Nobody is staying in the mine. You're all leaving. Please listen to Tabitha before my heart gives out.
It'll be fun, Neeks.
It will not. Wait a second, where the three of you run off to? Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. Wow, Kanika, maybe if you weren't still scared of the dark or whatever, you could have noticed them sneak off. I noticed them sneak off, and I've been zoning out the whole time we've been here. They must have squeezed through that child-sized tunnel.
Dang, I always wondered where that goes. I've never been able to get these hips through there.
Stella, stop sneaking into my mines. I am literally begging you. If only all the tunnels down here were wide enough for adults, we could have already been done with this little mess. But no, there just have to be remnants from a bygone era. Didn't you just, like, talk about how child labor was a good old thing, or a good old days thing a minute ago? I was trying to get you to leave my mine. Becca's head pops out from the tunnel's entrance.
We are not about to let you come in here and ruin our good time. The mine is safe. I've been here 1,000,000 times.
Yeah, if Becca says we're safe, we're totally safe.
Whatever, come on you two. I know a cool spot. This way.
Okay, I think I know where the tunnel rejoins the rest of the mines. I'll go look for them. I want each and every one of you to take note of the fact I'm doing that. If those idiots get themselves lost and die, I'm not letting their families sue me into the ground. Are those really your priorities right now? Yeah. Do you have a problem with that? I want the rest of you out of my mine. Except for you, Hollow. I'm not letting you out of my sight. Well, good. I wasn't going to go anyway. Yeah, sure. I could never fit in that tunnel anyway. They've crossed a barrier that I cannot. Or they have crossed a barrier that I cannot, so my time is up here. But only because Stella promised me a ghost hunt tomorrow. Whatever. I still have to do my dailies anyway, and the service down here sucks. I will happily escort these two knuckleheads out. No, you are not about to weasel your way into this, Stella.
Aw, come on, Tabby. I've been down here a ton. I can totally help out.
Tabitha sighs. There's no getting rid of you, is there? Fine. I won't waste my time arguing. So, should we get some professionals down here? I am a professional. I also prefer to resolve this issue without getting word out if possible. Again, I don't want angry parents trying to sue me for their own negligence. Inspiring.
Oh, don't worry, Hollow. It'll be fun and safe. I'm sure that's exactly what you told her last night, and we all know how that ended.
Yeah, I'm coming with you because I want to come along, not because you're making me. I just want to make that clear.
Noted. Let's not linger any longer than we have to, shall we?
I'll see you on the other side. Hopefully soon.
For sure. We won't be long.
Cool. Can't wait to bust some ghosts tomorrow. Kanika, Miles, and Zane head towards the entrance of the mine, leaving you, Tabitha, and Stella to find the remaining teens. Alright, no darling, we should be able to catch up with them if we go this way. You and Stella exchange a glance as Tabitha ventures forward. As the three of you move deeper into the mine, you hear the echoes of conversation bounce across the walls. Becca, why are we doing this again? I thought, you thought Tabitha was, like, really cool. Why are you trying to get her all mad? We're doing this because Tabitha's really cool? She doesn't let anyone boss her around, so we can't just let her boss us around. Aw, you hear that, Tabby? Someone thinks you're cool. I can't believe she used to hang out with a nobody like Stella. Tabitha, Hey! I don't know. I think Stella's kind of cool. Her videos are really neat. Oh, come on. She doesn't even have a sponsor. What kind of YouTuber doesn't have a sponsor? Small creators, usually. Indies. I mean, not yet, but I'm in talks with Meat Rice, and I make plenty from ads and donations. We're just gonna press on. I'm not gonna deal with any of that. Another knock, closer, interrupts your thoughts, followed by another and another. Is it just me, or is that knocking coming from the same direction as those kids? It's not just you. Okay, that knocking is starting to freak me out. Calm down, Rosalina. It's just mind sound. Do you guys see that? No, it was just shadow. There's no reason to get freaked out. I saw it. Shut up! There's nothing down here. Stop trying to scare me. That's active mind echoing through the walls, right? Nah, it's Tommyknockers. I'm sure of it. It's not Tommyknockers. That being said, it's also definitely not the active mind. We use a machine these days, and it sounds nothing like that. It's probably just some rocks following somewhere deeper in the mine, which is also bad for obvious reasons. Okay, let's keep moving. As you progress deeper into the mine, the knocking grows more frequent. It's still distant, but louder than before. I don't like this. The tunnel ends abruptly in front of you. A century-old ladder is the only way forward. In the darkness beyond, you can still hear the echoes of terrified teens or panicked arguing bouncing down the pitch-black corridors. The pit radiates rage, a white-hot anger. It hates you. But at the heart of it, you can sense something else. The quiet hum of a darker presence. The heart calls to you, desperate to be witnessed. And here we are. The tunnel they crawled through passes through the chamber below. It shouldn't be hard to find them once we get down there. I've never been this far in. Congratulations, Stella. You got what you wanted. Tabitha crawls up to the ladder and disappears over its edge. Alright, let's do this. Stella hoists herself over the edge and begins the climb down. You walk to the ladder and climb down. I'm pretty sure this is the way back. Come on. Pretty sure? I thought you said you'd been down here before. Okay, maybe I didn't get this far in, but whatever. It doesn't matter. I definitely remember the way out. Hurry. I don't want to be down here anymore. I think it was actually this way. Oh, shut up. No one even wanted you to come with us anyway. Becca! Yeah, they're close, alright. Good thing they're so damn loud. It sounds like they're really lost. The voices around you, those of the teens and your companions, sound odd, distant. Step forward. There's something in the darkness before you that's much louder, though you don't hear it. I don't have a choice. You don't hear it, but you can feel it in your chest. A desperate need to perceive and be perceived. Hey, are you alright, Hollow? Bear witness. What do you think you're doing? Get away from there! Your cousin dives towards you, but not before the light from your phone illuminates the chamber. Oh. You said we wouldn't use the shipment. You know it's compromised. We couldn't afford to wait on new wood, Charles. We had to go ahead with it. It's still sturdy enough. It'll get the job done. Will it? I don't think it will. I don't think it will. I don't think it did. Hollow, are you alright? Oh, thank God you're alive. It looked like you had a seizure or something and you and Tabby just conked out. Tabby too? I'm fine. Ugh. You can barely open your eyes. You're not fine. Neither of you move a muscle. I don't want you straining yourselves while you're still recovering from whatever that was. I'm going to get you both some help. I'll be back soon. I promise. You fade back out of consciousness as your companion clambers out of the pit, intent on your rescue. Oh, okay. You raise up on your elbows, head still swimming from the visions, your surroundings coming back into focus. Your head throbs as the knocking continues, now magnitudes more intense than ever. Through it, you once again hear the panicked voices of bickering teenagers echoing through the stone corridors. Becca, you're just getting us more lost. It's this way. If you're so sure, then why don't you just leave? I can't believe I let Alexis talk me into inviting you two in the first place. Becca, I'm just trying to help. I said go. Okay, I will. Alexis, you don't have to go with her. You know that, right? Pick a side, Alexis. I'm sure Becca knows where we're going. She wouldn't just lie. Sorry, Rosalina. The increasingly desperate voices of the teens are drowned out by the thunderous knocking. You can practically feel the ground shake beneath you and almost see the walls vibrate with the intensity of the hellish sound. God, that knocking is not helping my headache. What the hell just happened? We were shown the dark truth of this place. Did you know something might happen? I've seen horror movies. You looked like you were about to wander off and get yourself killed. I didn't want to let you out of my sight. Not down here. Rosalina appears in the passageway to the left. She's out of breath and it looks like she's been crying. I'm sorry I snuck off like that. I just wanted Alexis to think I was cool. The entire cavern shakes with the sound of rockfall. I don't know what the hell is up with the knocking, but that is the sound of a mine collapse. Quick, up that ladder, both of you. Wait, Becca and Alexis are still down there. You can't just leave them here. I know which way they were going. They'll listen to you this time, I promise. Do you have a death wish, little girl? This isn't a movie. The best thing we can do to help those girls right now is to not be buried alive ourselves. We gotta take Rosalina and leave. Rosalina, I'm so sorry. The mine's coming apart. We can't go after this. Your dad wouldn't want you to die down here. What about their parents? They wouldn't want Alexis and Becca to die like this. They already crossed that bridge. You can too if you want. I don't care. Rosalina hesitates for a moment. Alexis! Becca! The way out is this way. If you just follow my voice, you'll be able to make it out. Okay, let's go. She grabs your hand and the two of you start climbing. This way, come on. Your cousin moves with the kind of swiftness you'd expect from someone who spent her entire life working in and around coal mines. Becca! Alexis! Can you still hear me? The knocking drowns out Rosalina's desperate shouts as the three of you crawl closer and closer to the entrance. I'm so sorry I left you guys. It's deafening now, as if someone were trying to break through the walls with fists of iron. Continue. You continue to push forward, your burning muscles giving way to pure adrenaline. Then comes the sound of splintering wood. You pick up the pace. The entrance is so close. I'm so sorry. Keep going. There it is. Freedom. The three of you manage to squeeze through the entrance just as the walls of the mine come crashing down. Alexis? Do you think the other two? Maybe they got out. It's possible, right? Maybe there's another entrance or something. Or maybe they're still alive in there. Oh, God. I'm so sorry. Rosalina, are you okay? Your dad's on his way. He should be here any minute. I'm so sorry. I'm going back to the camp. I'll be back with some men. And they can start digging. I'll call Earl. It takes a bit of time, but eventually, Tabitha arrives with men and a machine to start digging through the rubble. You, Stella, and Kanika are afforded a quiet moment to yourselves as the others get to work. Your vision. There was a stone carving on the pit of the wall that showed me what happened in this place. Charles Shaw was set up. The Scarlets caused the old collapse. No way. Dude was a monster. I mean, the Scarlets were monsters too. They still are. What am I saying? I don't believe in visions. Whatever you saw was probably just auto-suggestion. I don't know, Neeks. You weren't down there. Hollow and Tabby had, like, simultaneous seizures next to a creepy stone carving. It looks like something out of a movie. Just because they passed out or had seizures doesn't mean it wasn't auto-suggestion. Entities in the mines. I saw something down there. They were right behind you just before you left. Did you not see them? Whoa. I didn't see anything other than the two of you and that carving. That's super weird. I don't want to doubt what you experienced, but you were deep in a dark abandoned coal mine. You might have just been primed to see things. You know, now that I think about it, that totally fits with the profile of some of the Tommyknocker stories. What if they're actual bona fide ghosts? Oh, Stella. Everything happened down there centered around that main chamber where I saw the carving. Stella showed me a photo. Weird stuff. Yeah, really weird. So what happens now? Hey, guys, I don't think she's quite ready to talk just yet. What happened down there? Have you met the kids Rosalina hangs out with? Yeah, Rosalina's lived here since she was 2. She basically grew up with them. They're a little older than her, and yeah, they get into some trouble, but I didn't think they were bad kids or anything. They're always so polite to me, especially that Alexis. Gosh, that poor girl, always acting like a dog's butt he'd kicked. And now she's in there. It's not right. It's gonna be okay, Oscar. They weren't bad kids, just reckless. I'm not gonna say anything. Rosalina said you two have been living in the library. I think she was trying to get away from that. Oscar sighs. Rosalina told you that? Yes, it's true, but you have to understand there's something in that house. We believe you, Oscar. I couldn't let it hurt her, and since I don't know how to get rid of it, I set up a back room at the library for us. just until I could figure out how to fix things. I know she hates it, but I thought it would be better for her. Instead, it just drove her away, staying with friends, not checking in, and now this. It's all because of that house. And because of me. Because I haven't been able to fix this. I just wish she could understand.
We can perform a seance tomorrow night. Yeah, we'll do whatever it takes, Oscar.
Okay, I'm into. Thanks, you guys. That really means a lot. I shouldn't have kept this to myself, but I was so afraid of seeming ridiculous.
Dad, you must be so mad at me.
Oh, Rosa, no, of course I'm not mad at you.
Do you think maybe they got out? Maybe there's another exit somewhere.
Rosalina.
I should have pushed back harder. I knew the way out. I should have made them come with me. I just don't want them to be dead. I'm so sorry, Dad.
You don't have to be sorry. You're alive and you're safe.
We couldn't have gone back for them, right? We wouldn't have made it out if we went back.
You're right. We wouldn't have made it out.
They don't deserve to be down there. Why should I have made it out when they didn't?
This isn't about what people deserve, Rosa. You have no idea how grateful I am that you're still here.
It's not fair, Dad. It's just not fair.
I know, Rosa. I know. But I think the best thing you can do for your friends right now, until we get them out of there, is to enjoy the life you have. I know I haven't made that easy for you, and I know you've been frustrated with the choices I've made. But I'm gonna do what it takes to move us back into our house. We're gonna have a good life again, Rosa. I'm sorry I didn't do this sooner. I'm sorry this is what it took.
Dad.
We're on the case. We'll be okay. I promise. I'm gonna take her home. I guess we'll see the three of you tomorrow. And thank you, Hollow. You have no idea how much I appreciate what you did for Rosalina. As Oscar and Rosalina leave, your cousin exhaustedly saunters over to you. Alright, Hollow, my men are set up to start digging. Let's get home and get some rest. Now, hold on a minute, Miss Scarlet. Mind if we have a quick word with your cousin, Miss, in private? Okay, fine, just make it quick, and don't you dare try to pull anything on her. She did nothing wrong here. Ladies, I'm afraid that means you too.
Don't you need to talk to us? We witnessed this too.
Oh, sure, but that can wait. We know where to find y'all. I'm Sheriff Hugby, and this is Deputy Dickerson, but you can call me Earl. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Welcome to Scarlet Hollow. I hope this accident hasn't colored your perception of the place. Lovely place to live, if you ask me. Lovely indeed. Now, Sheriff Hugby, don't you think it's a mite odd these teens found themselves in an old abandoned mine on the very property Hollow's family happens to own? And don't you think it's a mite odder Hollow happened to be in there with them at the time of said collapse? I'd be lying if I said it weren't peculiar. Though I'm sure you're an upright citizen, Hollow, and I'm sure, and surely this is all an unfortunate coincidence. Still, a good cop should ask themselves these questions. You gotta understand where we're coming from. 2 kids, 15, 14, buried alive down there, and maybe they're dead. Maybe you were on the premises. Whether or not that was merely coincidence remains to be seen, but we've got to do our due diligence here.
It was a mind collapse. What could I have possibly done?
Just trying to gather all the facts. Our duty as officers of the law, you see, just being thorough. But I see there's not much to be discussed as of yet. We'll let you go on about your evening, but we may be in touch. Have a good one. I don't think I will. Deputy Derrickson tips his hat to you. The 2 officers wander back to the mine, Derrickson taking notes as they examine the scene. You make your way towards Stella and Kanika. I just can't believe it. I left them in there to get help. Is it my fault, Meeks? Stella, no. You did your best. It's not your fault. Oh, hey. Guess the cops are done with you. What, are they gonna take you in for being present at an accident? Sorry if they gave you a hard time. Small town cops, you know.
Always blame everything on drifters, even acts of God, I guess.
Excellent. You didn't get arrested. Now come on, let's go back to the estate. I'd like to get some rest before I have to deal with the fallout of everything that happened tonight.
I'll see you tomorrow, okay, Hollow?
Excuse me, Just stop trying to get my cousin killed, Stella. Come on, let's go. Tabitha starts walking to her car, pulling you by your arm. I'll text you when we're back. Tabitha doesn't say a word as the car cuts along the darkened road. You try to keep an eye on the surrounding wilderness as she drives, worried of what might lurk between the tree lines. I'm sorry about today. Tabitha doesn't answer. Drop it. Tabitha's eyes are fixated on the road. How are you holding up? Poorly, but I'd really rather we didn't get into it. Why do you treat Stella like that? Didn't you two used to be friends? It was a different time in my life. I just wish she'd get that we're not in high school anymore. I am a different person than whoever she thinks she knows. You and Kanika don't really seem to get along. She pushes my buttons. Is there some kind of history there, or... No. Now quit talking. I need to focus on the road. Alright, fine. Your eyes wander back to the tree line as you and Tabitha slink back into silence. You once again cross the threshold into the estate, the musty stench of the decaying mansion greeting you with its undertones of mildew and wood rot. Well, this day was a lot more stressful than it need to be, and I'm sure it's the precursor to a horrifically stressful week. I'm going to bed. I suggest you do the same. Thanks for calling me about those kids, by the way. It was unexpected. You could have... No, you should have waited for me. I'm too tired to argue. I'll see you in the morning. Tabitha turns and makes her way up the stairs, her posture defeated. Turn in. You head up to your room to turn in. You collapse in Tabitha's dusty guest bed, your head empty of thoughts. After your time in the Shaw mine, you barely even notice the dust. Your phone buzzes on the table. Y'all, these are those things, right? Kanika sends a picture of a pair of ditchlings by the side of the road. I saw them again, too. Another picture of them staring from a tree. What the fuck? These things are definitely not hairless monkeys or raccoons or whatever. I don't know what the hell they are. And I guess there's more to them being here than the mine collapse. No way I'm sleeping tonight. You think about looking out to the guest room window, but at this point you're too exhausted to leave your bed. The adrenaline from this evening is finally wearing off, replacing by a creeping exhaustion that threatens to overwhelm you. Your limbs feel heavy, your eyelids slipping down over your eyes, and even as you stare at the ominous pictures on your phone, if it weren't for the pit of dread balling in your stomach, you would almost feel comfortable as you settle between the covers, your tired bones sinking into the decrepit mattress. And when you close your eyes, your thoughts drift to Alexis and Becca, terrified and alone, if not already dead. Your eyes shoot back open, your heart pounding as the door to your room swings open. Just the cat. It's always just the cat. Nice to see another living being, even if it's one as friendly as as unfriendly as Tabitha's cat. The comfort of her presence sets your mind at ease, and you finally slip into a deep sleep. Oh. Aww. I sense a bad. That would be the bad. Anakin Skywalker and Magic Treehouse as the achievements. This is the end of episode 2. Episode 3 awaits. Proceed if you dare. If you would like to continue with this world state in episode 3, please save your game now. Yup. Return. So, yeah, I didn't expect a mind collapse in this chapter. Everything Black Tabby Games has made is just blowing me out of the water. I adore it. I cannot wait to stream more of this and more of Slay the Princess, obviously. But I figured this would be a new, or a good test run of my new mic since I have to read everything. Like I said, my test run audios were pretty good. Hopefully, hopefully my quality isn't ass anymore. I will have to check that when I watch this video back later. But I think this one was a little shorter than last time. I think. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's about the same. I don't know. But we got chapter 3 next. I know they said 3 were out. I'll have to look up if it's finished or not. I think they said there were going to be 7 chapters. 1 for each day of the week, obviously. Funerals on Sunday. And I have the feeling that that's when the entire house is just going to come crashing down. This is a fascinating look into a horror that can easily turn into a tragedy. And if it doesn't turn into a tragedy, it's still horrific enough on its own. I love it. I can't wait for the next one. I wasn't even going to stream today, but I'm awake. I'm awake. I don't want to be. I figured I would stream until I was tired. Which means I probably shouldn't be playing exciting games like this because now I'm a little closer to wired than I am tired. But, you know, whatever. It's fine. I have so much fun doing this. I do. And I am so glad that I got my new mic. It picks up everything. So I am going to go ahead and call it here. I'm going to upload this to YouTube as I always do. And I will see you all next time. Bye!